Hello. If you visited before, thanks for coming back. If you're new here, welcome. Definitely check out my channel intro to get acquainted. My name is Pierre-Antoine, and today we're going to learn how to take CAPA. Now, how does one take CAPA? What is CAPA? Well, CAPA stands for corrective action and preventive action. It's a subsystem of your food safety program. Every now and then, something will go wrong in your operation. A piece of equipment is going to break. An employee will use the wrong ingredient in a recipe. At some point, a customer will call and complain about some issue. Anytime an incident happens, you need to document what happened, how you dealt with it, and how you will prevent it from happening again. This is where CAPA comes in. The first step of CAPA is to figure out the who, what, where, when, and why. So you'll need to document what happened, who was involved, where it happened, when or what time it happened, and why it happened. You'll capture all this information on a CAPA form. Now, I highly recommend that you have a template for CAPA forms so that your documentation is consistent between incidents. I made a model CAPA form that you can download off of our website. Just follow the link to that template in the description below. One of the best ways to figure out all the details of what happened is to do a chain analysis of the incident. Now let's take an example. Let's say a mixer belt snaps and then breaks. The fact that the mixer belt is broken is the what, but you still need to figure out the who, where, when, and why. Now, who, the operator, maybe the supervisor in charge at the time, where, the production area, that specific mixer, when, note the date and time, and why. Now you might think the why is really obvious because the mixer belt was worn out, but we need to find the real why. Why was the belt worn out? Start stepping back through the chain of events that led to the mixer belt breaking. Who was working with the mixer at the time? Did they check the belt before starting operation for that day? Was maintenance done on the mixer belt? Does your maintenance program have accurate information about that piece of equipment? And was maintenance checked and validated? Go as far back as you can during this analysis and ask questions at every point along the way. CAPA analysis generally finds a lack of communication and training or an incomplete standard operating procedure as the ultimate cause of an incident. Once you've analyzed the incident, it's time to take corrective action. Depending on the incident-specific who, what, where, when, and why, you'll need to document whatever you did on the CAPA form. In the example of the broken mixer belt, you'd repair the equipment, note the part replaced, and what time it was repaired. Be as detailed as possible in your documentation because you need that information to refer back to for things like audits, onboardings, and repeat incidents. After you've done corrective action, it's time to move on to preventive action. By analyzing the chain of events that led to the incident, you're going to be able to figure out what you need to do to prevent that from happening again. In our example of the broken mixer belt, you'll revise the maintenance procedures and do some refresher training on all the employees that work with the production equipment. You'll document all this preventive action on the same CAPA form you started when you did the corrective action. Now let's run through one more example. One of your customers complained because they received a shipment in bad shape. The corrective action here would probably be to issue a refund and maybe arrange for a return of the product. You'll document all of that corrective action on a CAPA form. Then your preventive action could be to revise your standard operating procedures on distribution and finished product quality assurance and do some revised training on personnel that it applies to. You'll also document all of that information on the same CAPA form. And that, my friends, is CAPA. Be sure to always have CAPA forms at the ready and be diligent and thorough when filling them out. Now, having CAPA as part of your food safety program is pretty straightforward from a documentation and procedural point of view, but implementation with your staff can be a little tricky. Make sure managers and supervisors know where CAPA forms are and how to use them, because you can have some nice documents that nobody actually uses. It's easy for an operator to think, oh, a screw fell in this machine. I screwed it back in tightly. I don't need to report it on paper. But then what happens when it's a new day, a new operator, the screw falls again, and the operator doesn't notice it and it falls in the production line? That's a problem. If it had been reported, the corrective action might have been similar, screw back the screw tightly, but also inform everyone so that any operator knows that it can happen again. And then preventive action could have been to check the equipment manual or contact the equipment manufacturer and replace the screw with a newer one. Corrective and preventive action are important for your customers and your business. Prevention is the name of the game, and a good CAPA program will bring a lot to your food safety plan. It's going to encourage you to do regular program revisions, improve maintenance outcomes, and have fewer complaints from your customers. Next up, we'll be diving into HACCP, the basis of a robust and compliant food safety plan. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.